Welcome back to Madrid as we continue the Teqball World Series. The first event of 2024 has brought us to Madrid. We've had 2 finals already and 3 more to go. We're in the absolutely iconic location of the Plaza de España, right underneath the statue of Cervantes, who looks down, the great Spanish author. So already today then we've crowned 2 winners, and we have 3 more trophies to give out on finals day after a week of frenetic activity. It's a hot one for you, and the action's going to get hotter even as the temperature very slowly starts to drift away from nearly 30 degrees. 3 more matches to come then, starting with the men's singles final. Clear favourite in this one, Apor Györgydeák, against a surprise finalist, really, you have to say. Martin Csereklye has a chance of the biggest title of his career so far. And then it's back to Thailand action again, already 1 trophy for them and another couple in the offing perhaps. First though, the men's singles, let's concentrate then. You can see the routes to the final. Csereklye had a really sensational match in the semis against Hugo Rabot, by the way. It was probably the best match of the tournament so far. And we hope for something similar in one of the next 3 finals coming up. We've got the 2 doubles events, and here the men's singles finals about to get underway. In Spain, the Royal Palace just down the road from here, about 300 or 400 meters or so. And the 2 combatants then, head-to-head overall, Csereklye surprisingly has an advantage by 2-1. But today he starts firm underdog against the world ranked #1, the #1 seed, the beaten finalist in the World Championship in Bangkok, and the previous year's world champion, Apor Györgydeák. So let's welcome you then onto the court. Here we go. And our referee for the first of these 3 remaining finals from France, it's Györgydeák. All our officials are very highly experienced, and all of them do have an assistant. And they'll be taking charge of the decisions regarding potential VAR. We do have people in the van for that as well. So the singles final between, as I said, Apor Györgydeák, the Romanian, who's been brilliant for the past couple of years now, 24 years of age, representing the Györgydeák Teqball team. And it's another Hungarian in the final, but the name of the Hungarian in the final, a bit of a surprise to many Teqers. It's Martin Csereklye, the 29-year-old. And what a week it's been for him. Birthday on Tuesday, came to Madrid, hoping he'd get to the semis, #4 seed, and with maybe a little hope of getting to the final. And now he has the chance to win the biggest trophy of his career by a mile. 3 previous trophies for Martin Csereklye, but 2 in singles have been at a much lower level than this. This is one of the key events of the season. It's the World Series, and they're into their 60 seconds warm-up. Let's have a look at the players there. As we said, from the Györgydeák team, he's done brilliantly so far, undefeated in any of the sets here this week. 12 sets to 0. Beat Boonkum Tipuang, who we'll see in the doubles later on in the semi-finals, particularly convincingly 4 and 8. Csereklye, as I said, survived a nerve jangler against Hugo Rabot in the semis on his way to the final. 16-14 in the 3rd set for the man who turned 29 earlier this week. Has dropped 3 sets in all this week, including in the quarters to his compatriot Milan Chabli. Important thing is that he won the final sets and he kept his nerve. They were both tight affairs, 12-10 against Chabli and 16-14 against Rabot. Around the world, we're broadcasting the world's fastest growing sport, surely an Olympic sport of the future. This is Teqball. You better keep up with the action because it's flying at you. And we're starting with the men's singles. We are ready to go. Hang on to the edge of your seats. Could be a classic. Györgydeák in the yellow is the clear favourite in sweltering conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play Teqball.
First set. First serve. Point, team in yellow.
So certain similarities with maybe a bit of tennis on the serve. You do get 2 chances to serve if you mess the first one up, but you lose the point if you fail on your second serve. And for experienced techers, we must remember we do have a lot of new viewers every single tournament and every single broadcast, so it's worth repeating the rudiments of the sport. Huge crowds here, by the way. I'm just looking away to my left. They're about 7 or 8 deep, and then further back on some higher ground, there are people all around, and the tribune is absolutely full as well. You can see in the background on some of these wonderful shots. Chance then for the Hungarian. Csereklye forcing Györgydeák out wide. Good 2 touches. That's why he's such a skillful player. Stays in rallies when all looks lost. And the missed header. That's a poor error. Bit of nerves, I think, from Csereklye in such a big stage. Possibly the biggest crowd he's played in front of in a major event. As I said, 3 previous career titles. But often a bit of a bridesmaid, and should have made more of that winning position that he created. Couldn't find the table. So 4 serves in a set, and Györgydeák with the 3rd of the 4 here. Very well controlled. Csereklye showing some of the skills that got him to the final, and just had to be careful there. Is he over halfway? He's not. Looked like he just got the touch away before the halfway mark. He was racing towards. Really good adaptation from Apor Györgydeák, and he's the #1 seed and world #1 for a reason. Lightning start then from the Romanian, 3-0. Again, good defending from Csereklye. Has to make more. That's a good sniper's header there, just low with the shot that came from the head this time. You can use any part of the body apart from the arms and hands, of course. But one of the key features of the sport that many don't realise is your last touch when you pass it back over the net has to be different each time in the rally. So that doesn't quite make sense to you. 3 touches, and if you take a big swing with the foot, then you can't use the foot when the ball comes back to you for the 3rd touch. Györgydeák going for the big hit. Great chest, good control, excellent defence, a long way from the table, but makes it. Now Györgydeák can't use the foot, so goes with the head. Csereklye with a chance now to put power into the shot, and Györgydeák sees it bounce off his shoulder. Very good point from Martin Csereklye, who looked like conceding another point there, but in the end takes it to reduce the arrears. Yeah, good finish. Knew he needed the acute angle. Both these players are so adept at getting the ball back from losing positions, it would seem. But a rare, very good service winner from the #4 seed. So a lightning start for Györgydeák, but he's been pegged back now. 3-3 in the men's singles final. Action coming thick and fast straight out of this one, the presentation ceremony, and then we're straight into the remaining 2 finals for your delectation. Coming up, the women's doubles. It's another Thailand v Hungary affair. And same again for the men's doubles to round it off. This is the men's singles. Little dink over the net from Györgydeák. Csereklye with the header, trying to win it. And he does enough to force the error for Györgydeák, who's hit a bit of a rock here. 4 points in a row for Martin Csereklye.
First serve.
One of the many from the Raba Eto club, used to be known as Teqball.
Second serve.
Shown his mettle in nervous moments in the qualifiers, group matches, and then all the knockout stages, round of 16, quarters and semis. Györgydeák, another error with the head from the Romanian. Well, at one point towards the end of last season, he looked invincible. It was a real surprise when he was beaten in Bangkok in the world final by a man he'd had much the better of previously, Adrian Duszak of Poland. And now he's trailing 3-5. Instagram for both players on your screens. We'll keep repeating throughout the match. And also don't forget, you, if you weren't with us earlier, have the chance to select the athlete of the day for the men and the women. We'll put the QR code in for you shortly. And there's a chance in this hectic action. Headed to the far side of the table, but Györgydeák should take advantage. Was he over halfway? Not called. Smiles on the faces. Many of these absolutely newcomers just happen to be passing through, seen the event, and they've been gripped. They've been waiting for the restart after the 2 earlier matches. All the seats in the stand behind, long since taken. The VIP area well populated as well. Czereklye. Oh, didn't get that right.
Team in yellow.
Messed it up there, and it was the previous touch, not the final touch. So Györgydeák back on top. You do get runs in this sport. And with the serve, he's making it count now. Last of his four.
First serve.
6-5. Hoping for a clean sweep, having been 3-5
Net.
behind, and very nearly got it. Just flicked the net, so
Second serve.
it is counted, unlike in tennis, as a foul serve. And this is his second, has to make it count. So a bit of a conservative second serve. Now Györgydeák on the defensive, moves in with a header deep, but another chance for Czereklye on the left foot. Forces the Romanian back, but he's there again, this time with the chest. Had to use the head maybe this time. Always used the foot again, as it gets it. Yeah, he went with the head the previous touch, didn't he? And Czereklye, seeing his opponent so deep, just let it glide off the foot.
Change of service. Team in green to serve.
Difficult to keep up with the action.
First service.
So tying it up at 6-6, important
Out.
point psychologically to win. And as I said, he's been involved in so many tight matches this week. Did lose a set in the group stage.
Second serve.
And indeed, he's created a record this week, Martin Czereklye. Györgydeák. Oh, well read in the end. After the bounce off the net made it awkward for the Hungarian. Here's Czereklye again, trying to set himself up for the big hit. Györgydeák, oh, he's run out of space. Now he's going. He thinks it hit the net and not the table, I think. He's appealing for a TV replay. Yeah.
Okay.
So he thinks it hit the net and not the table.
Challenge is requested by Team in yellow for net in the second service.
Ah, on the service. Okay, so we have to go right back to the start here. Yeah, we need the close-up. Well, how do you sort that out? I mean, it might have done, but as you can see, we're at 300% magnifying, even more, and still can't tell. I don't think you can overrule what has happened. There's no obvious sign of deviation, is there? I mean, Györgydeák was convinced, but he's used his VAR challenge here, and he might have burned it. Will retain it if he wins the decision and they adjudicate that it did flick the net. Otherwise, it's a point to Czereklye. Both players are watching the big screen here, the LED screen in the corner. There are hundreds and thousands of people now. Here we go.
No net.
Yep.
Point to Team in green. No challenge remains.
So he has burned early in the match inside the first set, Apor Györgydeák. There's no more challenge available for him, and he may come to regret that. Initially, I thought he was saying that the ball had come off the net and not hit the table, but either way, he lost the challenge, and Czereklye has the advantage. That's a good response, though, having lost the previous point. Ties it up again at 7-7. 36 career titles for Apor Györgydeák. Just got the fierce shot away before that orange mark on the floor that signifies the halfway mark in the table that you cannot go beyond with your final touch. You can with your second touch. You don't have to make 3 touches. Do 1 if you want. And sometimes it catches the opponent unaware, but another good serve. Serving the better at the moment, Czereklye.
First service.
Maybe, just maybe, dreaming of that first big title in his career at the age of 29. It was his birthday on Tuesday. Survived real scares in the quarters and the semis to play in this big match today. Good serve again low, difficult for Györgydeák. He goes low himself, but now the aerial route opens it up for Czereklye. Has to be from distance the header, rather defensive. Czereklye comes in for the hit and he's missed it. Wow, talked about nerves in the first couple of points. Little hesitant there, and ought to be protecting a 9-7 lead as the serve changes.
First service.
Györgydeák, the world #1 for a while now.
Out.
He's reached the semi-final in every World Championship since first being in the last 4 in 2019.
Second serve.
Still only 24 years old. The mercurial talent that's blossomed for Apor Györgydeák. Good hit to the end of the table. If it hits the edge, remember, you replay the point. If it hits the side, you lose the point. Aim for the back end of the table so that it's dipping more. The curve really is what the sport is all about, managing the angles.
First service.
So the top seed back in front again, having trailed briefly. Oh, he's struggling to get there. Couldn't control it, did get there in the end. Very aware that he hadn't got to go beyond the net. Györgydeák sneaks ahead by 2 points for the first time since he was 3-0 up. Points coming in runs, as you can see at the bottom of your screen.
First service.
So now, 2 points away from the first set. First to 12 wins it. Doesn't matter if it gets to 11 all, it's a decisive point. Györgydeák feels he's in control here, but slams it into the net. Just, I think, might have lost his footing. Yeah, just checking whether he's all right, whether he slipped or there's some moisture on there. You might think, well, there's no moisture, it's glorious and sunny and windy, but a little bit of sweat that can fall can make a huge difference. Thankfully, Györgydeák is okay. Czereklye still in this one. Difficult angle.
Point.
Yeah, gave the point away there. There was a strong gust of wind, but even so, I don't think it was the right tactic from Czereklye on this occasion. Needed just to try to stay in the rally. Gets to these nervous points, and you need to just make your opponent win it. Conceded the point there.
First service. Net.
So set points. 9-11. He does have the serve though, so not all is lost. But now it's touched the net. Györgydeák knew it, and just when it looked it was so close to a brilliant second serve, Martin Czereklye double faults for the captain's fault. Cost him the first set. 12-9. It's been quick, it's been fast and furious, but for the Romanian, he's halfway to the title. Teqball World Series in Madrid. We've been going here for 3 days, and now the finals day, and we're midway through the middle event of the 5 finals, the second of the singles events. Earlier we saw Thailand defeat Hungary in the women's singles, and the Hungarian has lost the first set here to the Romanian by 12 points to 9. Excellent first set percentage in from the world #1 and former world champion. And the unforced errors count, surprisingly maybe 3-2, Györgydeák more, but he had 3-1 winners. It was tight, it was close, and Györgydeák knew that he didn't pull away until right at the end. 12-9 maybe flattered him a little bit. Don't forget, here we go, the QR code. Get to the link or go straight for the URL on your screen, FITEQ.org/vote, to vote for who you think has been the best man and best woman on view in this whole event. You can have a look at some of the highlights on that website as well. You can view the rest of the events with us. Still 2 to go. Fabulous doubles action to come. How many more sets do we have remaining in the singles though? Can Czereklye force us into a third set, or will it be over in 2? Second set getting underway in Madrid in the Plaza de España.
Net.
Just the breeze can affect the ball toss, just marginal gust of wind there, and another double fault. Just how the first set ended for Czereklye. Györgydeák already a winner this season. This is the first Masters event of the season, the World Series. Big tournaments that get the most ranking points, they're always over the halfway line anyway. Hit the side, lost the point on 2 versions. But yeah, as I was saying, Györgydeák already a winner this season, won the lower ranked event, the Belgian Open. Quite a lot of the big names went over to Belgium, the first international event there, to get some much needed table time ahead of this much bigger event. Györgydeák actually won the singles and the men's doubles with Adam Blažević.
Second serve.
Another big name from the sport.
Double
managing to find his best form regularly enough at the moment, Adam Blažević, in recent 12 or 18 months or so. Czereklye, with his serve, was a threat in the first set, but
Point, Ciminiello.
really hasn't fired. Only 1 in 3 in the first set, legal. Couple of double faults already, and this match is quickly going away from him after being blanked on his own serve. Lost all 4 points. Now, if Györgydeák can get 3 of the next 4, he'll be almost home and hosed, you would think. But stranger things have happened.
Second service.
Both good receiving players.
Net, double
And
fault.
a double fault from Györgydeák for the first time in the contest. 36 career titles for Györgydeák, 21 of them in singles. What a talent he has been. Yeah, Györgydeák read that so well, coming into the table, knew that there wouldn't be much power because his opponent was nearing the net, and then smashes the ball into the net and not the table. The only point he's won so far in this second set was the gift of the double fault. And another look here, set himself up okay, couldn't execute it into the net. Good spin on that as well. Czereklye struggling from distance, uses his chest, which means that if he does get another chance, he can use his head or his foot, and will go for the smash with the angle, and he's won that point. That's why it pays sometimes to use the chest or sometimes the knee, just to keep all your options open if you can keep the next smash from your opponent under control. Instagram on your screen right now for the 2 competitors, 2 of the greatest at the moment in the singles, particularly this man. How good has he been for a long while? As I said, a real shock when he didn't defend his world title in Thailand. Beat Adrian Dušak in 2022 in Nuremberg, Germany, but then in Bangkok fell to the same player, and how the Pole Adrian Dušak celebrated. Critical time, has 4 serves here, has to win the serves 3-1 at least, and 4-0 were tied up at 6 apiece. Again struggling for that first serve here, Martin. There you can see on your screen the percentage is still round about 1 in 3, not good enough, and he's taken a timeout. Points are drifting away from Martin Czereklye, so a 60-second timeout for him to try to calm down, take some advice, take on some liquid in this really outstanding heat. It's always expected to be sunny this time of year and pleasant in Madrid, but it's way above average, touching 30 degrees. The group games and the knockout games yesterday all played indoors in a sports centre up the road where we played the whole event last year in Madrid. So who do you think's been the best so far? Maybe Györgydeák in the women's singles, or maybe here you think Apor Györgydeák, or maybe the best is yet to come. You can vote now or you can vote later. Voting remains open until midway through the final match of the day. You can also visit us at FITEQ.org. You can find all the background, all the statistics, all the results. You can find the clips. You can find a bit more about the rules of this wonderful sport as well. The Miguel Cervantes statue memorial stands proud overlooking this square. Plaza de España, one of the sightseeing meccas of the Spanish capital. Also the Torre de Madrid, the Madrid Tower, just at the back of me, and the Edificio as well, one of the other tallest buildings in the city. Lovely wide view there. So the match resumes after the timeout, and beautifully done from Györgydeák. Celebrates that as much as one of the massive smashes. And Czerekly's hope is fading here. Performed well in that first set, but he's up against a master at the top of his game. And the master craftsman is finding his way to another trophy here, it would seem. What does Czereklye have left? Going for the kill now and reaches for the jugular and smashes it open. What a decisive point for Apor Györgydeák. The Romanian making his advantage tell and extending the gap to 9-2 with 2 points since the break. 3 points away from the trophy then. $40,000 prize money. It's our 250th international event in the history of this fascinating and fabulous sport. Györgydeák running away with it then. 9 points of the 11 in this second set. Too far, surely, to go for something extravagant there. Czereklye didn't read it well enough, and now he's under all sorts of pressure. Can't find the table. The countdown is on. 2 points for the trophy.
Change of service. Team in yellow to serve.
Just needs 2 of his next 4 serves to confirm another singles title. And there's one of them, straight off. The 24-year-old, beaten finalist in the World Championships back in December in Asia, and hoping in the first World Series event since then, the first glamour trophy, he's going to make amends.
Second service.
Masses of championship points here. Czereklye will fight now. He's got nothing to lose. Can't even find a winner there. Györgydeák going right back at him. Brilliant to the end of the table. Czereklye has to bring it under control. Does really well. Stays in the rally. Up for a sniper header now. Goes short. Czereklye only 2 touches, but it's wide of the net. Game, set, match for Apor Györgydeák. In the end, it was pretty easy. Czereklye just ran out of steam. Györgydeák just got better and better, used his experience, used his know-how, and powered his way to a pretty stunning victory. Superb performance from the Romanian, who returns to winning ways after the disappointment in Bangkok. Nice round of applause. The Hungarian salutes the packed stand at the other end while you watch the congratulations for Apor Györgydeák from his team. And let's have a look at that winning point again. You don't need to make 3 touches, but it needs to go on the table. And he just lost control trying to set it up there, and it didn't even clip the edge, which would have given him a lifeline. And Györgydeák was confirmed winner. 12-2 second set, 12-9 in the first. The #1 seed, the world #1, justifies those rankings. And in pretty quick time as well, I have to say. At 24 minutes or so, he's managed to walk away with another trophy. Let's have a look at the statistics of that victory then for the top seed. Beat the world #7 Martin Czereklye with much better first serve percentage in. First service points won 50% to 12. Still not as high as he'd like, I can tell you that, because he's a perfectionist, but he is the best. He's the best in the world.